Hey there, everyone. Judge Andrew Napolitano here on Judging Freedom with another pop-up for you. Today is Tuesday, January 18, 2022. It's about 2:15 in the afternoon on the East Coast of the United States. Earlier today in Washington, D.C., the Supreme Court of the United States heard oral argument on whether or not a Christian group with a flag that simply bears a cross, not a crucifix with an image of Jesus on it, but just a cross known as a Latin cross on the flag, if this flag can be flown at the Boston City Hall. Now you would say, well, why is a Christian group flying a flag at the Boston City Hall? Well, the Boston government, for whatever reason, has decided to turn its flagpoles into a public forum, and they fly the flags of just about anybody that has a flag and wants it flown there, no matter what the political or ideological orientation is of the group supporting the flag. Yet when this Christian group wanted to fly the flag, the powers that are in Boston City Hall said no, because we have separation of church and state. So the question before the Supreme Court is flying the flag a question of free speech in a public forum, or is flying the flag a question of the government endorsing a particular religion, in this case, Christianity? Well, if the city of Boston was not going to fly any flags whatsoever, and the Christian group came along, the city would be on solid ground saying, we don't fly anybody's flags except the city of Boston and the state of Massachusetts. They call themselves a Commonwealth, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the United States of America. The city would be on strong ground in saying no, because it wouldn't be a decision based on religion. It would be a decision based on what we use our property for. But when the city, a few years ago, turned its flagpoles into a public forum, there have been 264 different groups that have requested permission to fly the flag there, and 264 consecutive times the city said yes. And the only time it says no is to a Christian group. This is discrimination against religion, and it is conspicuous discrimination against religion. Look, I believe in the separation of church and state. I believe in it because that's what the people who wrote the First Amendment and wrote the Constitution wanted. We don't endorse a religion, but we don't discriminate against religion. This allowing every group under the sun to fly a flag, but not a religious group, is a discrimination against religion. And I think that the Supreme Court will rule against the city of Boston. It's a fascinating case, and everybody should be interested in it whenever the Supreme Court rules on First Amendment issues. This particular court, whatever you think of it, the Chief Justice Roberts Court, we sometimes call it the Roberts Court, has been very pro-freedom with respect to First Amendment. It has almost always sided with the litigant who is asserting a First Amendment liberty. And First Amendment, as you know, is not just speech, it's also religion. I used to say to my students when I was a professor of law, what's the first freedom protected in the First Amendment? Everybody's hand goes up and says, freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Well, that's not true. The first freedom is freedom of religion, and there are two prongs to it. One, the government can't establish a religion by favoring a religion or taxing you to support a religion. And the other prong is the free exercise clause. The government can't impair the free exercise of religion. But what the city of Boston has done by turning its flagpoles into a public forum is discriminating against religion, and that's prohibited by the First Amendment. Judge Napolitano, Judging Freedom.